Hello, my name is Laurel, and we're gonna pick up from where we last left off, where we had created our Markdown files. We had transformed our Markdown files into data that we could use, and now we're gonna use that data to generate our blog post. We still do not have our blog post, and that's because we need to get access to Gatsby's API. When we work with Gatsby's API, we get access to Gatsby's actions. At build time, we're gonna start by deleting this, and we're gonna create a const path require curly braces, parentheses path. Now we're just declaring this. We're gonna use this in a couple of seconds. We're gonna say export create pages equals to parentheses curly braces bound action creators and GraphQL. So we're gonna also be using GraphQL to query our data. Let's do arrow curly braces, and let's declare our create pages. Now we're getting create pages through bound action creators. So let's declare that. Let's also declare our blog post template. Now you might be thinking, where is this coming from? Well, we still do not have our template. We're gonna create that in a couple of seconds. So let's do resolve and let's look for our template. We're gonna say it's gonna be in source template, and it's gonna be post.js. I'm gonna move this. Let's return and query our data by saying GraphQL parentheses, and let's open backticks. Let's do all markdown remark. Let's do parentheses edges note front matter path. As you can see, we only need our path. We're not passing our image, our HTML. We only need a path. We're gonna use a path to generate those URLs to those blog posts. So I think that's all. That's everything. We need to check if we have any errors. We're gonna do an if statement. So if we do get errors, it should let us know. If not, we need to return a promise. And it looks pretty good. Let's declare the information that we have returned from our query by saying const I'm gonna say post equals result data all markdown remark that edges. Now this is where we're gonna use our post by looping through each post that's generated in our GraphQL and calling create action on each of those posts. Let's do for each it's called note. Inside of node, I'm gonna call open curly braces, and now we call create pages. Inside of create pages, we're gonna pass a couple of variables. The first one's gonna be the path, which is gonna be node friend matter path. We also need to pass our component, our template component, by saying component blog post template. Okay, it looks pretty good. I don't see any errors. We are missing our template, so let's go into source. Let's create a new folder. Let's call it template. Instead of template, you know what, I'm gonna call it templates if we actually end up creating more than one template. Inside of template, I'm gonna create a new file, and it's gonna be a post.js. Inside of post.js, I'm gonna call a standard import React from React. I'm gonna call a function that's gonna be blog post, and I'm gonna pass props here. So we're actually gonna pass data from our GraphQL that we're gonna query inside of our post template, and that's gonna be our property. So let's do curly braces. Let's do const post. Let's do props equals data equals markdown remark. We're also gonna have access not only to our post, but I want to have access to our title, our date, and our image. That's gonna be equal to props data markdown remark dot front matter. Let's return. Let's have a standard div here inside, and let's do h1, and let's pass our data. Let's have our title, our date, and let's have our, let's pass our HTML, which I'm gonna create a div, and I'm gonna call dangerously set inner HTML, which means I can insert my HTML. You've probably seen this in the React. We're gonna use this right here by saying underscore underscore HTML is equal to post dot HTML. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna close my div. I spelled functions wrong. It's actually F-U-N-C-T-I-O-N, if I can only spell. Let's create our query now by export const page query equals GraphQL to backticks. Inside of our GraphQL, I'm gonna say query blog post by path. I'm gonna say parentheses $sign path needs to be a string, curly braces, markdown remark front matter curly braces. Path needs to be equal to the path of each post that's looped through. I'm gonna open their curly brackets and I'm gonna say HTML. I'm gonna get access to my front matter by saying date, path, title, image, and I'm also gonna get access to the different properties that image has provided by saying child, image, sharp, sizes, max width of 1280 pixels. And I'm just gonna call Gatsby image sharp sizes. That looks pretty good. Let's save it. Okay, so an easy way for us to find out if our pages have been created is to go into GraphQL and say files, all file. Let's try that. Nope. Pages, all site pages. Let's try that. And as you can see, we have down here our style page with the URL style page components. Let's go into URL and paste this path. And as you can see here, we're actually getting our this is our page. This is our first blog post. It was dynamically generated. We're actually missing our image in a couple of style, but we're gonna do that in the next lesson. So I'll see you then, and awesome work.
If you'd like to watch more videos like this around design tools and coding for designers and beginners, please subscribe to this channel.